Today I have a plan. I want to do the Authortube Newbie Tag, but I also want to write. So for every 500 words, I'm going to answer one of the newbie questions, and that should get me to 5K. So it may take me a while, but I will get there, and I will get the newbie tag done. Here we go. So Nimbus has hidden in the plant and decided that's where she wants to take a nap. I have my first question for the Authortube Newbie Tag. How did you find out about Authortube? I found out about it about 4 years ago when I was starting my Master of Fine Arts program in writing. I was kind of looking into how to plot a novel. I went to YouTube and I searched how to plot a novel. It came up with lots of different things for me to watch, and I found Jenna Moreci. I really enjoyed her videos, her how-to videos. She gave some really good advice. Then as I progressed as a writer, I needed something else. So I stumbled upon Kate Kavanaugh through, I think, her I Tried Writing Like J.K. Rowling video. I love all her videos. She does writing vlogs and writing experiments, and she has a really nice, fun approach to writing and life. It makes it really nice to watch, and she's very positive too, and I like her positivity in her videos. Now, I'm going to finish this essay that I'm working on. I'm almost there, not quite. I've got one section to fill in. So I'm starting back on my work in progress, and I'm starting with 864 words. Switching my brain over from one project to the other is proving more difficult than I had thought. Another 294 words, and I'll be able to answer another question. Gonna get it done. I really don't know how people fast draft. I sit here and just stare at the computer and wonder, what do I write? Seems to be my writing process. It's just sit and stare. Not that it's a good process. It's not going very well for me. I have 3 sentences. They're not even great sentences. I wish I could just throw caution to the wind and just write. But for some reason, I just get stuck on wanting it to sound good. Question number 2. What genres do you write in? It'd almost be easier to say which genres I don't write in. Let me think about it. Oh, I have so many. Okay, so I made a list. So this is my spreadsheet of the work that I'm working on. So as you can see, right now I'm working on a steampunk fantasy, which is a middle grade novel. I'm currently drafting it, and I'm calling it The Clockmaker's Daughter. I have a contemporary young adult that I'm working on. Again, that's drafting. I have contemporary fantasy young adult novel that's in drafting. A fantasy young adult that is in drafting. I have a sci-fi young adult novel that is basically just an idea. I have the first page written and I'm not sure where it's going. I have a picture book that is in revision right now. I have one picture book that is ready to query, and then I have my paranormal fantasy romance novel, which is in the drafting stage. So I also write poetry and creative nonfiction pieces. I just looked at the list of questions, and the next question I've kind of already answered, so I'm just going to add on to that. What is your preferred writing tense, POV, and category? For writing tense, I write past tense. I just find that easiest for me. For point of view, it really depends on the story. So I write mostly in third person. I have one project that I'm writing in first person, and I have another project that I'm debating on what kind of point of view to use. It has multiple points of view, and I don't know if I want to keep it in third or first. So that is my POV, third, tense, past, and category, everything. Here's the problem with fast drafting for me. I just hate writing crap. And I wonder how much of it that I'm actually going to keep. So what's the point of even doing it in the first place? These are things I wonder. Oh man, it is one of those mornings. Ugh, just... I'm ready to answer the third question for the Authortube Newbie Tag. Are you a plotter, a pantser, or a plantser? I'm gonna have to go with a plantser but I have a process. So I start out as just a pantser. I get an idea and I write as much of that idea out as I can. Then I get to the point where I can't write anymore. So then I need to plot. And so then I plot and I plot and I plot. And then from there I write. I wish I had a more interesting answer. I really don't though. Because it's really like, I'm both.
Apparently I said it. Oh no, this is terrible.
I've reached another 500 word milestone. I'm pretty excited. I actually got it in 2 sprints and I finished chapter 11. It's very rough. At least I have some words on there and you know it's there. So I'm on to question number 4, which is a 2-parter. So the first question is, are you self-published, published, or yet to be published? So I am a published poet. I have 1 poem published in the journal 50 Haikus, and that's it. So I hope to be traditionally published for my YA novels, middle grade novels, picture books, and then possibly self-publish my romance novels that I want to kind of get together. I have a series in mind. The second question, what is your dream publishing house or literary agent? Simon & Schuster, Lindsay Davis Auld, Penguin, Susie Townsend, Random House. I'm not too picky. I just want my work out there for people to enjoy. I'm on a roll this morning. It's pretty good. I'm going to start chapter 12, see how that goes. I'm doing some very bad 0/fast drafting. Not sure if I'm liking the process, but I'm going with it. I've just reached another 500 word milestone, so I'm pretty excited. I think this is day 3 of this writing experiment. So question number 5 is, what kind of Authortube videos will I be doing on my channel? And so I have several different ones that I want to try out. I've already put up a writing vlog, which I think I will do more of those. I have this newbie tag, so I'll be doing other tag videos. I want to do some reading vlogs, some kind of writing experiments, and I want to do some vlogs for my journey of my enrichment semester at Spalding University. So I have 5 deadlines that I have to meet where I send in 50 pages to my mentor. They send feedback to me and then I incorporate that in my writing and we start over again. So I will be doing some vlogs around that experience as well. So getting the packet ready, sending it off, looking at my feedback and incorporating that so you can kind of see the whole process. If you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see me do, write me a comment below. I'm introducing this new character and I haven't quite figured him all the way out yet. I really need to figure out who he is as a character, and I thought I had a pretty good idea of who this character was, but as I'm starting to write him, I'm not feeling that connection yet. The problem is that my instinct is to make him more of a relaxed personality, but I already have a character like that, so I don't want to have like these 2 characters that are competing against each other. He has an important role, so somehow I need to make him stand out as an individual character. This is my problem with the fast drafting method, is that I will write a sentence that I know is bad, but I finish it and then it just drains on me that it's this bad sentence. But I've written it, I'm trying not to edit, and so I'm trying to move forward, but I can't move forward because the sentence is so bad that I need to write a new one. Part of this process is freeing of just being able to write, but it's that perfectionist in me that makes it super hard because it's not working the way that I want it to work. Another 500 words in the bank, so here I am to answer 2 questions for the Authortube Newbie Tag. So I am on question number 6, and it's a 2-parter. So the first part, when did I start writing? Let me just preface this by saying I have a very, very bad memory. I'm basically Dory, so I don't really remember a lot from my younger days. I know I've always been a reader, and I've read a lot. The writing I don't remember as much. 7th grade, I think, is when I remember writing my first story. Basically, my early stories were all based on fan fiction. So either fan fiction of soap operas, so big fan of Days of Our Lives and Passions, and As the World Turns. I think in 8th grade, I wrote a story for the state test that was fan fiction. That's where I really started, was fan fiction. And this leads me into the second part of this question, which is, what is the first story that you ever wrote? I wrote it on lined paper, I wrote it in pencil. It was called Elena's Lover, and it was for my friend Elena, and it was about her getting together with this guy that she really liked. It was ridiculous. Basically writing fan fiction on real life. I don't remember like anything about it. I know there were some trees, and she was with the guy in the trees. Romantic tree setting. And I remember I gave it to her. I was really excited about sharing it. We are on question number 7, which is, are there any authors who have inspired you in your writing? So there are a lot of authors that I really enjoyed reading, and some of them had big impacts on me as a reader, but there's definitely one book that has inspired me as a writer more than any. This is a book that has inspired me the most as a writer. What it is, essentially, is Russell T Davies. He's the showrunner and responsible for the return of Doctor Who. What was so interesting about it, the fact that Russell T Davies was just so open about the struggles he had as a writer, which I really gravitated towards. And even though like he is a telewriter writing for television, a lot of what he's talking about goes for any kind of writer, because he's really focused on the story and the characters, and just seeing his thought process, how he came up with ideas and storylines and characters, is really inspiring. So if you're a Doctor Who fan, I definitely recommend this. And even if you haven't seen Doctor Who, I still think it's a worthwhile read. I think just being able to see another professional writer and how much struggle that they go through, I think that helps me as a writer feel more confident. Another 500 words bites the dust for me. Oh yeah. What I'm noticing about with this experiment is it actually goes pretty fast, and I'm impressed with how many words I can get done. Today is taking me a little bit longer. My first sprint, I only got 133 words, a little falling behind, but then my second sprint, I got 469 words. I usually write around 450 for every 20 or 25 minutes. Meaning I can make about 1,000 words in an hour. The problem is that I haven't been able to do it for like an extended period. So usually I write for about 2 hours, and then I'm like, all right, I'm out, I need a break. Or I hit that 1,000 and then I'm like, okay, good, I got that 1,000, I'm good to go. So I'm gonna be working on that. That brings me to question number 8 of the Authortube Newbie Tag. Do you schedule your writing? I used to at least have a little bit of scheduled time. When I was working, I went to Starbucks at 5 when they opened, and I would write for about 2 hours and then go off to work. Now that I'm not working, we're all in quarantine and Starbucks isn't open for sitting down, I've just been working from home. I like to work in the morning to do some writing. That's when, you know, my brain is kind of awake, but there isn't a set time. I get up at 6 in the morning and I have breakfast. I'll watch some TV in the morning, and then finally I'll get around to writing, unless I go for my second nap. And I write for a good 2 hours, really. I'm really trying to figure out how to schedule my writing so it's more productive and more beneficial for me. But I definitely find like in the morning and in the evening, once I break for lunch, I'm like, nah, I'm done. I need to like chill. And then after 5 p.m. I can usually write. I've just found it really hard to adhere to a schedule during quarantine. Doing this experiment and doing these 500 word goalposts, I think has really helped me realize how much I can write. Yes, I'm writing a very dirty draft. We'll see when I come back to revision how I feel about that, but at least I have more words on the page. We have question number 9 of the Authortube Newbie Tag, which is how and where do you write? Before quarantine, I would write at Starbucks, and I had my own little table in the back, and I loved it. And now that Starbucks is not open for in-store seating, I am writing from home in my office. So the second part of this question is, how I write. For the most part, I'm writing on my laptop using Word. When I'm not on the computer, I also write by hand. And I like to use blank computer paper. I don't know why, but the blankness with the no lines really helps me. And then for this current story that I've been doing, I made this giant poster board. This poster board is all about my outline for the first part of Act 2. Basically, I just got some Sharpies and just was writing down ideas. So I need like blank spaces to write down all my ideas. I do some idea and outline form in my bullet journal. For the most part, I need to see it. So I found that writing it all out like this really helps. And then I'm able to reference it as I write. So I write by computer for most of the story, and then for brainstorming and ideas, I write on blank paper, or at least a blank format.
And I just, nope.
Now it's time to answer the final question in the Authortube Newbie Tag. What am I most looking forward to? I wanted the community of writers. I'm really looking for a place where I can meet new people who love writing as much as I do. After days of heat, it's finally raining.